Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to another edition of Soundwaves TV. No, we're not Chasta. Chasta's not here. She is. She'll be around later.
Don't turn off the TV.
But we're doing this a little differently. We're going to have a lot of fun this week. This week on Soundwaves TV, it's Live Baby Live, our semi-annual look back at some of our favorite live performances from some of the Bay Area's most exciting artists.
And we're also going to mass debate all over the hot topic of musicians using backing tracks during live performances. And as you can imagine, there are some opinions that we have.
This is Soundwaves TV. How you doing, everybody? Welcome to Soundwaves TV. Dennis Willis, Stephen Kirk, and cheers, everybody. Cheers, brother.
I don't care about them. Cheers to you, though. You get your own.
Back at you. So we're doing things a little differently. Chasta is on location at the Bone Studios, and she's got some special guests. But I want to talk about live music. Like, you and I have been going to shows for... Well, you and I have been going to a lot of shows.
We've seen a lot of shows live. Yeah.
But I think from like the first time you and I like saw a band somewhere, you know, the conversations we'd have in the car, and the thing though, and everybody's had these conversations are all about, oh, that moment when this happened. I mean, there's a magic that happens when you're watching bands read off of each other. That took me, when I was younger and a little more plugged into like watching music videos, I didn't get that. It wasn't until I started seeing live bands and close up,
right,
where you just go, there's a conversation happening there between all of these guys, and they're speaking in music, and it's amazing, and it's alive, and it's being created right in front of you. Am I wrong here? I mean,
no, absolutely not. And it's not even just the conversation between the band members; it's between the band and the audience as well. And that's where we come in as the people who are sitting out in the seats. You know, whether you're in the second row or you're all the way in the back. I mean, I saw Ozzy Osbourne in second row. And
oh, wow.
I just remember the electricity coming off the stage. It's one of my favorite things in the world is to go sit in a crowd of, you know, thousands, well, hundreds or thousands of people, and just being a part of that experience. Because you can sit and you can drop the needle on a record and you hear that same song over and over again, and you know exactly where that note's going to hit and where the bridge comes in and everything. But when you see it live, there's that energy and there's that organic feel that comes when a band is just in the groove, you know, and they're just moving and bopping together and everything. And as an audience, when you sit back and you feel that, and you're really a part of the show, you're an active participant in that rock and roll moment, as opposed to just listening to it in your car or on your stereo at home.
You know, I've said it for years. We do Soundwaves Christmas, and for about the last, I mean, we're over 30 years doing this. It's our annual fundraiser we do every year. But it took us like 10 years to actually have artists. And as soon as we had artists come into our space and set up and play, I started saying the same thing every year. And that's that we have a front row seat to these amazing bands as being, you know, in the studio. And that is such a special relationship. I mean, I wish everybody had a TV show and you all could do this, because there's something about being in an even smaller space, in a room, in this tiny room. This is where we shot Sam Chase and the Untraditional and the trio. And it was like I was 3 feet away from these people while they were working together and making this magic. And it was unbelievable. It really was. There's nothing like live music.
And that's one of the things that's been great about doing Soundwaves for as long as we have, getting that front row seat, being in that pole position to be able to enjoy putting, and the fact that we give artists a place to do that as well, because artists get to go out and do live shows and everything, but usually they're not captured or they're, you know, on cell phones and it's all this crappy footage and stuff. But we end up, the bands do us a favor by coming in and performing for us.
Absolutely.
We do them a favor by creating broadcast quality, capturing that performance for them, for their fans, and for us to go back and revisit.
So how about we show one of those performances?
I think that's a great idea. This show is called Live Baby Live for a reason, because this entire hour is going to be all about live performances and what makes them great.
Yep. Now, this one goes back to the last Soundwaves Christmas. We partnered with Art Boutique in the South Bay, a great venue with a great streaming situation. We brought the bands in and they produced the whole thing. And I'm not lying here. I was having so much fun. I jumped on camera. I couldn't help myself. I was just like, and I was all into it. So check it out. We love these guys. This is Sweet Undertow. This is called Skeleton Machine. Live, baby, live.
Up, liquor on a telephone pole. Sky's cracking its eyes, the color of gold. Seeing everywhere with an electric stick. Weaving wires up into your hair. Every day is like a fist fight with a lightning. Cross my heart, whoa, tell me no lie. Stick a needle up into the digital sky. There's a devil in my pocket, or in my mind. There's a devil in my wallet, or in my where does the machine end? Where do I begin again? Where does the machine end? Where do I begin again? Where does the machine end? Where do I begin again? Where does the machine end? Where do I begin again? Again, 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 again. Big gasoline, skeleton machine. Big gasoline, skeleton machine. Big gasoline, skeleton machine. Big gasoline, skeleton machine. Thank you very much.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Live Baby Live, the live edition of Soundwaves TV. No, we're not live, but the performances we're showing you on this show are indeed 110% live.
Absolutely. And coming up later in the show, we've got more live performances from State Line Empire, the Sam Chase and the Untraditional, Royal Rebels, and we're going to mass debate the topic of musicians using backing tracks while in concert. Very contentious subject. Everybody has opinions, and so do we.
Hang on a second. Yeah, we got fans calling in. They're wondering where the hell is Chasta on this episode of Soundwaves TV. I mean, what's Soundwaves TV without Chasta? Well, we heard your plea, and we're going to actually throw over to the bone right now. And here's your Chasta.
Hey there, thanks guys. Chasta and Joe Hawk are stuck here at the Bone where we live.
Yeah, basically.
We're so stoked. Now we are 1 week away from Bottle Rock.
I can't wait to kick off to the music festival season up here in Northern California.
Yes.
And just the summer in general. It's
true.
so exciting.
Yeah, Baby Huey and I talked about it a couple weeks ago, but it felt so far away, and now here we are next weekend. We're going to be rocking out with Metallica, the Black Crowes, I mean, a million other bands. As you know, Bottle Rock, there's like 4,000 bands on 3 stages over 3 days, and we're here for it.
It's just so exciting just to get back to live music, especially, after the past couple of years we've had,
Right.
Even though they really didn't exist.
We're making up for lost time.
Yes, we are.
It's like Fast and Furious style.
Oh my God, with all the live music, all the big concerts that were announced like in a month, about a month or so ago.
Yeah.
It's just, I gotta fork over some money.
I know, that's how we're all feeling. The floodgates open and we're like, but our budget, oh well.
Yeah. But honestly, I feel like it's going to be worth it because I've missed going to live concerts.
And we saved money.
Yes, we
Over 2
yes.
years.
Well,
Do you
no,
see how I'm
my beer
justifying this?
Well, my beer fund concert. Yeah, okay.
That's true, yeah. Concert money went to beer at home money, but either way, it's fine. You know what? We only live once. That's what they say. YOLO. Yes, I'm bringing it back. So when you're at Bottle Rock, make sure you stop by because we're going to be hanging out there Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You'll see one or all of us at any given time. The Bone always has a bone booth. We do fun things. I'm hearing rumors that we're going to do maybe like an air drum off or an air guitar off. That could be fun and silly.
Yeah.
We have some cool stuff we're going to give out. So yeah, drop by. We always love seeing you and taking pictures with you guys.
Yeah, it's always a fun time to hang out with you, our Bonehead family.
Yes.
At any and all of these events. So we want to say hi, we want to hang out with you, and just get to know us.
That's right. And if you're not going to be there and you have FOMO going on, just make sure you follow Soundwaves and 107.7 The Bone on social media because we'll be posting a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh, yes, we will.
And we might just have a full, I don't want to ruin anything here, a full Bottle Rock episode at some point. I'm just saying, okay? I teased it. Let's hope it actually comes to fruition. We'll see. You'll find out when we find out. All right, let's get to some music. What do you say?
Yes, let's do it.
One of our favorite bands here at Soundwaves, Stone Foxes.
Love 'em.
We love them. We're going to go with an oldie but a goodie. This is Everybody Knows. You're watching Soundwaves TV.
This is a very sneaky song. So look to the person next to you and go, ooh, I'm interested. I took and I take more than what men need, but a popular caught me in the act of my greed. I cut up my lives and laid them neath the floor, but I hear a bumping come behind the door. Everybody knows I'm a man with a telltale heart. Everybody knows I'm gonna tear myself apart. You know it's probably me. Everybody knows. 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 You know it's probably me. Well, I did it so slow. I did it so slow. Even the Holy Ghost would have to testify. But it's beating so loud that they don't know too soon. I did the deed with my silver spoon. Everybody knows I'm a man with a telltale heart. Yeah. Everybody knows. You know it's probably me. Everybody knows. You know it's probably me. Everybody knows. out to see if all is well. Someone keeps a knocking on the ring in my bell. They gobble your eyes, they judge what they see. It's white collar crime in the first degree. Can't take it no more, can't take it no more. I feel that bumping come up on the door. Everybody knows I'm a man with a telltale heart. Everybody knows I'm gonna tear myself apart. You know it's driving me mad. Everybody knows. Everybody knows.
Great stuff there from Shannon Kaler and the Stone Foxes. Double back and check out the episode he was on. It was episode 121 when we were at the Bone. He talks all about his brand new album and going back live on the road with his brother. Different set of circumstances, but equally awesome. Coming up, we'll mass debate the topic of backing tracks in live music. Yay or nay, or does genre matter? Stick with us.
If you'd like to be considered for airplay on either Soundwaves FM on 107.7 The Bone or right here on Soundwaves TV, all you have to do is go to 1077thebone.com/Soundwaves, drop a link to your music, submit, and that's it. As simple as that. You know, it's kind of like the movie Airheads, except you don't take anyone hostage.
You guys are crazy, man.
This portion of Soundwaves TV is sponsored by Longboard, the coolest hidden gem on the coast. A world-class music venue with a neighborhood vibe. Stop by for a drink or check out an awesome show. For more info or to get tickets to an upcoming event, go to thelongboardbar.com.
How you doing? Welcome back to Soundwaves TV. I'm Dennis. He's Steve. And I want to double back to something you said. You saw Ozzy Osbourne in the second row. What tour was this? Was this like...
Oh, this is like 100
Bark
years
at the
ago.
Moon, early on, Diary of a Madman?
I think it was before Bark at the Moon, actually. Yeah. It was before he had his tattoos all colored in and everything.
Well,
it was just still the black outline.
Is this when you lost most of your hearing?
Huh?
So earlier in the show, we were talking about the concept of.
Do you know how much we pissed people off, me and my friend Jeff? Because we were those assholes. Because we were in the second row. But the people in the front row were really pissed off at us because we were standing in our seat. We had our foot on the seat back of the people in the front row who paid a shitload of money. And we're just, you know? Oh, yeah. And people behind us are yelling at us and throwing stuff at us and everything.
So when that 8-foot dude in the cowboy hat got in front of us at the Heart concert, we were all carping about it. I mean, it was payback. So it was you. Karmic asshole, I'm telling you, man. So on the topic of melting your face off, there's watching band dynamics, and then there's standing in front of the sheer magnitude of this wave of awesome coming at you. And State Line Empire, if anybody's going to do the Ozzy thing, these guys.
Oh, yeah.
Tony Mawson, incredible. But also, we got to give a little shout out to our partner in crime, Mr. Jay Michaelis, who not only owns this place, Green Room Music Center, but holy crap, what a beast on the drums this guy is.
He really is an animal, and we usually have a little pool going on when a performance starts to see how many minutes into the set it's going to be before Jay takes off his shirt. Because that's when shit's going to get real, right there, when Jay pulls off his shirt. Yeah,
yes, exactly. So this one was shot at the Whiskey down in L.A. where you hang
a historic club, the Whiskey A Go Go, and State Line Empire at a place like that. Are you kidding me? Check this out. This is entitled.
Thank you. Welcome back to Soundwaves TV. How you doing, party people? Morris Knight here and the crew. Dennis, Joe, we up in here, and it's time for another mass debate. Got all these dudes up in here about the mass debate all over your face. So, y'all know
I'm on Walters' show, Morris. Come on. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
So stop saying hi to your mama while we are mass debating.
I'm saying hi to Joe's mom.
There you go.
My mom's not watching.
But which Joe?
And now, that's enough. Okay, so as a musician, I go to shows a lot. We all go to shows. You don't have to be a musician to go to shows. Right. And we love seeing our artists do their thing live. We pay a lot of good money to go see these artists and do their thing live, right? But every once in a while, or actually maybe it's becoming somewhat of a trend, you will notice backing tracks. I have been to shows with and been okay with them, and I've been to shows that had them, and I was completely offended. In fact, you guys probably know about a particular situation just ever so recently where it was so freaking blatant. It topped Milli Vanilli at the MTV Music Awards back in the day when the CDs started skipping,
right?
And these guys are still kind of singing or whatever. So I don't know. So we'll start with you, Mr. D. What it is, man? What do you think about the backing? There's a time and place for it.
There's a time and a place for it. It always cracks me up when you see everybody from Van Halen on down and then jump starts, bum, bum, and you're like, where's the keyboard? Like, okay, so that's like the most obvious one. But I mean, I get it if you're doing like a Vegas show or a Britney Spears or whatever, this completely elaborate thing, and dancers are huffing around and everything, and they got to sound like they're all fresh. Okay, I get the show business aspect of a big production like that. But when you're talking about something like rock music or talking about something where the performance is more paramount than the show,
right?
Then I think that's where the line is. And so if you're going to see a performance, you know, playing Jump being the exception there, and somebody's vocals act like that. I saw an artist, I don't even want to say it because I love the artist, but I went and I saw him and I caught him doing it. And I was like, like that's the beginning of the end. Like,
yeah.
He didn't have to do that. He's got the voice, and yet I caught him doing it. And I'm like, man, it's sort of heart crushing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
yeah,
no, I'm with you. So a couple of things. So like Britney Spears, it's just like no one really is at a Britney Spears show for her vocals. Okay, let's
hold up, player.
Let's get it straight.
You've got Aretha Franklin. You've got Britney Spears.
No, but Britney Spears puts on a show, and there are people there to see her dance and do her stuff and shake her thing, and
all over Instagram.
And if she does that, and she can't do all that while singing without huffing and puffing, like you were saying.
Sure,
having backing tracks for that's understandable. Also, when you're talking about like hip hop's all backing tracks a lot of the times. They don't come out with live bands.
Which tends to. I remember first going to hip hop shows back in the day, and I was a little annoyed by that. You guys learn your lyrics. And don't be rapping on top of your full vocal rapping. Okay,
right.
No. I'm talking in that case. I'm talking more backing tracks, not.
I'm cool with that.
With vocals
you just got the DJ doing his thing.
Yeah.
Right. That's all good.
Not
That's
the
all good.
actual main vocal.
I've heard the main vocal rocking, and
exactly.
these guys haven't memorized the damn thing.
Exactly. No. It's like that. It's like that. I'm not cool with. But it's just like, but the backing tracks, that's they need that, because that's basically all hip hop songs are. But when it comes down to it, if there is a flute on for like 15 seconds for a fucking song, do you need a flutist on the stage? No, you don't. It's something like, all right, bring in Phil. Play the flute, Phil.
Phil the flutist.
All right, see you, Phil. And then they continue with the song. It's like, you don't need Phil.
Young Joe, I got a question for you. Before
Yeah.
When did this trend start? I don't remember this all the way back in the day. And when did it become acceptable? I want to blame. I don't want to blame the millennials, if you will. But
right.
This is in your generation.
Yeah.
You guys seem to be giving this a pass.
This is
it me?
Well, no, I'm not giving it a pass, to be completely honest. I think really this falls into like more the pop, hip hop kind of genre that.
But we're seeing rock bands picking it up now.
That is true.
What's up with that?
Which honestly, the only real rock band that I can see that I think would get a pass is Queen. because especially with Bohemian Rhapsody, it is, especially once Paul Rodgers took over, Adam Lambert, of course, when they start to play Bohemian Rhapsody, they go straight to Freddie Mercury. That is the only true past.
Yeah.
But for me, I think I really don't know when this became like really, really big, because we go to rock shows and they are singing their damn hearts out. You can tell that they are playing.
But there's always that sliding scale of mediocrity. There's always like, Janet Jackson can do it because she's got 50 dancers.
Right.
Okay, that's cool. Right. All right, so now this pop artist can do it because they're doing something similar. Okay, cool. And then it's only a matter of time until it gets to the rock acts, I think.
Right.
I don't want to. No.
That's me being a cynic.
I don't want to. I don't want rock bands to do that.
No, I get it.
I don't think pop is pop, and everyone accepts that stuff is studio manufactured.
Right.
Yeah.
90%, and that's not to discredit them. That's just it is what it is.
Well, there are
It's just- it is
studio
what it is.
bands out there too. Now.
Yeah.
Where it's like a little tune here, a little tune there, and they sound good.
And that also
Yeah,
brings up
and
the
live
big-
video.
You're right.
And you got a Spotify generation that can hear anything on demand, and they don't know what live stuff sounds like.
Yeah.
They want to go see that artist sound like that artist, just like hit the button and then they pantomime it. I think it's ridiculous and takes like everything out of it.
That's
but
all
consider
bad.
it is all bad.
That was my point I was going to bring up, because you're like, what happens if you hear like 2 albums worth from a band that you just wholeheartedly love, and then you finally get that one chance to go see them live and they sound like dog shit. Like, what do you think that's going to do for their fandom if it's like it doesn't matter?
Question for you, Joe. Would you rather them sound like that live and direct, and they're not that great, or sound just like the record, but it's totally manufactured, totally canned?
I would hope that the studio mixes their audio as close as they sound naturally, so then that way fans understand how they sound.
Yeah.
But then it's like,
But they might not sell records, and so they're like,
Yeah.
a little tweaked here and there.
From the
and-
performer, I would think it's about the performance. From the studio, it's all about profits. And how do you maximize those profits? How do you send a band out for 100 dates and take part of that and have it be consistent and perfect? Like you hear about people on the Super Bowl, they don't sing the national anthem anymore, they lip sync it. You didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
That's a thing. And even this whole the hip hop show at the most recent Super Bowl, all lip sync. It's like, why are you people there? It's like nobody's singing live, nobody's doing it live.
No. Dr. Dre was real. That was real. Dr. Dre, he was playing
it was all Eminem. It was all Eminem.
Did you see when he sat down at the piano and he started
Why are we
playing
still
like he
coming
was
back to the Super Bowl,
Liberace? We had
Dennis?
the hip hop Liberace out there, and that was really Dr. Dre really doing his thing. You know what I'm saying?
All I know is one thing. All I know is one thing. I was at Summer Jam, I think it was '89, and Milli Vanilli played. And they did not have a backing track, and that was disappointing because they sounded like shit. That was the one group that I wish had a backing track. It's like it was like I stood up. I was kind of excited to see them because they just had hit after hit after hit.
Great album.
And I stood up. I'm in the lawn. I stood up. I'm like,
yeah.
what the fuck was that just came out of his mouth?
Remember when we were watching American Bandstand and Soul Train and Solid Gold, and then they'd have somebody come out and play their hit, right?
Yeah.
Like the record would fade out at the end, and you're just and the band's like gotta pretend like they're playing softer, and I'm just like, do you remember that? And I'm just like,
I remember
There's
being
no live slow fade.
I just that I was one of these kids. I was one of those kids that I wasn't a big sports fan when I was a kid. I wasn't good at basketball, football, any of that stuff. So I was always into music. So American Bandstand, Solid Gold, Top of the Pops, Soul Train, but I remember being like, I don't know, as young as 7, 8 years old, and seeing that happen where the whole band is up there, but the song would fade just like it did on the record, and that bugged the crap out. I'm like,
I'm coming at it from a TV point of view because we talked about like the Super Bowl and stuff like that. Now you got to take into consideration in that particular instance. I mean, if you're sitting in a stadium and you're watching a band, I want it to be live. Right. But when you are, it's like a handful of years ago, Mariah Carey was on New Year's Rockin' Eve, and her audio crapped out, and she pitched a fit and everything.
It was all bad.
But the reason they do that is because if her microphone cuts out, or if there's some problem with transmission or whatever, they still got to get that out there. Yeah. So that's apples and oranges, really. Difference between being on live TV and being in a stadium.
Yeah. What about Ashley Simpson on Saturday Night Live?
Oh my goodness.
That was painful.
Look, what you got to do, you got to unfortunately, Ashley Simpson and even Millie Vanilli, you got to figure out a way to be a pro and play it off. That was
She did the Cotton Eye Joe.
Yeah, it's like do a little jig.
I'm like, all bad. All bad.
Then she threw her band under the bus, and she said, they started playing the wrong song.
Yeah.
It's like,
okay, all right, not to open a can of worms, but I kind of blame Saturday Night Live for that, because the thing is, like, I get that it's live, but they shoot the whole thing once, so they have it all.
Yeah.
And you're telling me that the one that fucked up is the one they're going to let go out? Come on.
Yeah.
It's like they got to
well, no, I think the West Coast feed, I don't think had it. I think it was only the East Coast feed.
This is so actually most recently with Saturday Night Live, they actually have started going 100% live.
Right, but that wasn't the case back in the day.
That was like back in like the early 2000s where
yeah.
it had East Coast was live and then West Coast was.
But even before East Coast was live, they did a rehearsal version. So if anything went wrong, they'd have all the skits. Don't tell me they didn't perform.
No. I agree with you on that, and it was hilarious.
Your favorite bands and live in concert doing backup tracks. What do you guys think? Let us know. That's a mass debate for you to have at home, and let us know what you think. All right, Soundwaves TV. Hey, you guys. That was a mass debating like that. I'm gonna need a smoke. Thank you very
we
much.
get it done. We get it done.
Closed captioning for Soundwaves TV is brought to you by Green Room Music Center, offering rock camp, music lessons, a drum shop, and rehearsal spaces for rent. For more information, go to greenroommusiccenter.com.
Check out Soundwaves TV on all our social media accounts. Deleted scenes, extended interviews, the latest announcements, and official playlists. The Bay Area plays here. Hit us up everywhere at Soundwaves TV.
Welcome back to Soundwaves TV, everybody. Dennis Willis, Stephen Kirk. This is our live Baby Live show. And so what do you think, Dennis? I
have a lot of things on my mind, Steve.
I bet you do. Share just one of them. No, not that one.
Oh, darn it. That was a good one, too.
I know.
But we're talking about bands that we saw. All right, let's get back on track. It's going to get bad south as soon as the beer shows up. So, seeing bands a million times. I mean, the thing is, it's funny, I think about all the bands I haven't seen, but then I go down some of the list of the bands that I have seen, and I go twice, 3 times, 4 times. Holy crap. Like, that's a thing. Like, if you like a band, like, I know Joe McCaffrey's followed the Grateful Dead all around the world.
Right.
I'm not sure how many of those shows he actually remembers, but I remember most of, like, I was a big Huey Lewis nut. Saw him 10, 12 times, Canoctai, in little clubs, big stadium, and their final show they did here in the Bay Area, you and I went to at Mountain Winery. And there's something growing old with a band, there's something really kind of powerful there.
Absolutely. And part of it, too, is when you see a band multiple times, I mean, there are certain songs that bands will trot out every time because of stuff you expect from them. But they also will get a chance to go a little deeper and go in a different direction. I've seen Cheap Trick. It doesn't.
Yeah,
I mean, my first rock and roll concert back in 1982. Yeah, I know you're tired of hearing that, but I gotta keep trotting that out there. And it's great to be able to go to a show and hear stuff that is like way deep on the set list that you haven't heard for a long time, unless you're listening to all the albums. So it's not just a matter of the greatest hits when you go see a band like this.
Yeah.
And when you're that connected with a band, it's like going to see family. We're talking about like State Line Empire,
right?
Those guys are family for us, and I still feel that kind of connection with like Cheap Trick, because it's not just a matter of knowing the lead singer or the goofy guy on the guitar. You get to know the players in bands like that. If you're a real fan, you really dive deep into it, and it's not just the hits and it's not just the stars, it's everything. You get to a point where you know who the guitar tech is.
That's true. That's very true. Who have you seen the most?
It's between Cheap Trick and Heart. I'd have to actually go back and kind of count the ticket stubs to see for sure. But it's always, if Cheap Trick is in town, I'm going. If Heart's in town, I'm going.
And they play together a lot too.
Yeah,
they have played together a lot.
I mean, are you kidding me? That was one of the greatest rock and roll experiences that we ever had. After we got shit-faced out in the parking lot before going in, to the
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
that
See, I do
happened.
remember
Yeah,
that.
coming back.
I mean, it was you and me and Joe and Carla and Sarah was there and
Yep.
Taylor was there.
Yep,
you
yep,
know?
yep.
And so those experiences, those are great too. Just being able to see a band you love with the people you love, and it's just an experience.
Well, you're right. I'm going to give you some credit here because I'm always about like I want to see the band and make eye contact and see what they're doing and see that band dynamic. But there's something about being on the lawn with your favorite people, you know, having some drinks that, you know, all right, I'll watch the video screen from there. Yeah. You know,
I will admit at that show, I didn't spend as much time, like you're saying, watching the band because we were pretty far back.
Yeah.
You know, and we didn't care, you know, because we'd already been and everything. But you know, and you'd look up every once in a while, you'd hear that song and you'd watch and you'd get into it and stuff. But then you go back to hanging out with your pals, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of experience. That's what I really. One of the great things about Live Baby Live is that it's something that you can take away, and it's different every time, and it's magic every time.
Yeah.
I love it.
Excellent. Well, we've got Chasta still waiting over at the Bone. She's like, will you guys stop talking? I'm like standing here waiting to do my stuff. And she's got another guest that you're probably going to know who it is. Guys, take it away.
Thanks, guys. Yes, Chasta and Houston here at The Bone. I joke around that this is our other living room.
Like I said before.
It's like a fraternity house, except I'm a girl. I don't know how that works.
This is my bedroom.
Yeah.
I sleep down on the floor.
Yeah, you really do underneath the desk. So this show is all about live music.
Okay.
And you and I actually have seen a lot of live music together.
Yes.
And I don't know why I'm asking you like I don't know. Who's the band you've seen the most? Obviously.
It is Green Day.
Of course it's Green Day. How many
Yes.
times have you seen Green Day?
Oh my God. Well, see, that's a tough number because I've seen Green Day as Green Day so many times, but I've seen all their side projects and under different names. So you got Green Day,
Devotion.
Pinhead Gunpowder, The Network, The Frustrators, Foxborough Hot Tubs, The Cover-Ups, The Long Shot. Just to name a few.
I think you got them all.
I think of all.
Yeah.
I don't want anyone to discount my credibility.
I know. They're going to call you out.
I know. Damn it.
No one knows more about Green Day than this guy. We know that for sure. He has like wedged his way into the family reunions at this point.
Hi, Armstrong family. Love you guys.
Told you. He thinks he's an Armstrong.
What's up, Dave?
So a ton of times you've seen all of their incarnations.
Okay.
How is it different now as a grown-ass man than when you started seeing them when you were so young? Because you've grown up with Green Day.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as far as presentation, when I first saw them at Bill Graham Civic Auditorium back in 2001, they were promoting international super hits.
Yeah.
And so for them, if the thing about Green Day, and I think a lot of bands, if you look at an era of an album, like depending on the band, how they present themselves, like from a wardrobe standpoint.
Oh, that's interesting.
Or
Yeah.
a set list standpoint.
Yeah.
So Green Day during international super hits, it was coming off of the Warning era. In the Warning era, they were very stripped down. I remember they were wearing like hoodies, Dickie clothes, basic plain shirts. It was very stripped down. And then jump ahead like 3 years later, they kind of reinvented themselves.
They got a stylist.
With American Idiot.
Yeah.
And they kind of went down.
That was a whole branding thing,
The
though.
John Varvatos
right,
era.
Yes. Yeah.
So ever since then, so for the last 18 years, they've been more, I think, focused on their look,
Their
the
image.
wardrobe, the image, absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's something I've noticed and grown with them. Also, just like I get super geeked out, but like
it's Green Day. That's what you do.
The instruments that they play. Billy went from playing his classic blue Strat into playing like Gibson Les Paul Juniors.
Yeah.
And so how that like changed the sound a little bit. Mike Dirnt with the different basses he's played.
Yeah.
Trey Cool with the drums. Different band members coming in. So the presentation I've noticed has changed over the years.
Yeah.
And just even like I said, the set list, depending on the era, like what singles or songs they play at the time, and then where they're at now, how big a band's catalog is. Okay, how do you narrow down 10 plus albums into a 2-hour set list?
Right, especially with geeks like you who want to hear every song and all the deep cuts and everything.
Yeah, so that's
it's
the thing.
hard.
Like, back in 2001, I was in love because it was international super hits. It was like a greatest hit. So they're playing all the big radio hits at the time. Now jump ahead 18 years later, they're not going to play as many older stuff. They got to play a mixture of the newer stuff. And then you've seen them with me in concert.
Oh, yes, I have.
They're like, how many old school Green Day fans we have in concert or have here? And they then they start playing like the Dookie era.
Right.
So that's like a point where they acknowledge, all right, we're going to go back and play old stuff now. Enjoy it.
Yeah, and it's so fun, you guys, to see Green Day in general, but seeing Green Day with him is a whole different experience. It is so much fun because he's like yelling fun facts in your ear the whole time. So you really get like Green Day 101 as you're watching them in front of you. It's a full immersive experience, truly. Now, one thing I will say about one of my favorite bands, Aerosmith, I have seen them in the 20s, 25 times, something like that. And what's cool is when you see a band that many times, sometimes you'll have really great seats. I've seen them front row because I waited for 8 hours and only ate a hot dog bun and water to get that spot. I was not moving, and I almost peed my pants over that one. But you get some tickets like that, and then sometimes you're in the lawn or you're over here, you're nosebleed or whatever, and it's interesting to see the difference, you know? Something I do want to point out, though, Dennis and Steve were talking about, sometimes it's just fun to kick it on the lawn with your friends. Like, the music's just in the background. Bitch, no. Listen, I love my friends. I love hanging out with my friends, but I paid to see my band and hear these songs, and if you're talking over my song, you're going to get this all up in your face because I don't want any part of it.
And I agree with you. For Green Day, I've bought like really good seats.
Yeah.
So I want the best experience I can get up close. And with that being said, if they're playing my favorite song, like Welcome to Paradise, I want to be able to hear it all the way through, no interruption.
Right.
Like even last year when they came and played Oracle Park, some lady in front of me was just screaming. I was like, I want to tell her, quiet. You're talking over the song. Like, quit talking to your family.
I have yelled at somebody for that.
Really?
Oh, I have stood up and gotten in somebody's face. I'm like, I know, like, it's not a library. You can have fun and talk and stuff, but I paid a lot to see Steven Tyler and he's singing to me, so shut your face.
Well, at that point last year, I paid for those tickets like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And so finally, 2+ years later, finally get to see Green Day in person again. It's like, quit talking to your family about stuff. Pay attention to the concert. Show some respect.
Show some respect. So if you want to hang out with your friends, if we're your friends and you want to hang out with us at a show, it probably needs to be a festival. Festival, I feel like, is more hang time.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
Then we can be friends. Other than that, I love you, but bye, Felicia. Okay, we need to get to some music. What do you say?
Absolutely.
And this is a good mixture of friends and live music. Because we're friends with all these guys in Royal Rebels. Their song, Southern, we're going to play that for you now. Thanks for watching Soundwaves TV. I'll give you one guess where this guy is going to be in August. Outside Lands, yes. Green Day. You betcha.
twist around. I can't take any more pictures. Who's to blame for what I have become? I'm a fool, so no words can for me break the rule. The next for sympathy, it's good. And I choose because I'm number one. Cause I'm damaged good. Will you still love me? I can't be trusted. Will you still care? I'm damaged good. Yeah, you didn't love me. I'll let you die. Will you be there? Make it cry. Cause I stole your youth to your lies. Man, I swear it's the truth every day. That's a name that just keeps so young. Where I've been, on my face doesn't show it's sin. Oh, I can't let you know, so I pray. That's the way I can right what is wrong. One day you'll understand it, and then you'll see how damaged good. Will you still love me? I can't be trusted. Will you still care? How damaged good. Yeah, you didn't love me. I'll let you die. Will you be there? Yeah. Come on. Trust me. Come on. Where I've been, when my face doesn't show it's a sin. No, I can't let you know. One day you'll understand it, and then you'll see. One day you'll understand it. It's not you but me. I'm damaged good. Will you still love me? I can't be trusted. Will you still care? I'm damaged good. Yeah, you didn't love me. I'll let you down. Will you be there? I'm damaged good. Will you still love me? I can't be trusted. Will you still care? I'm damaged good. Yeah, you didn't love me. I'll let you down. Will you be there?
Hey, want to watch Soundwaves TV on your big screen? Head over to the Roku channel store and download our free app, Soundwaves TV. You'll get every brand new episode and archives of every past season. Do it now. We've got your next party covered.
This portion of Soundwaves TV is sponsored by Longboard, the coolest hidden gem on the coast, a world-class music venue with a neighborhood vibe. Stop by for a drink or check out an awesome show. For more information, go to longboardbar.com.
Welcome back to Soundwaves TV.
Maybe.
Dennis Willis, Stephen Kirk. We're heading into a hell of a summer.
Yeah.
It's going to be
yeah.
fun. We haven't even announced any of this stuff. And because we tend to shoot a little bit in advance, I'm not quite sure what's been announced as of this moment. So I'm not going to say anything. But I'm telling you that soon enough, you're going to find out. And we have some big stuff. There may be some beer related.
Well, I certainly hope so, for God's sake.
Not drinking beer, but something of a Soundwaves type of beer announcement that's going to be impressive at the level at which it is announced. And it's going to be like, and that's not even the biggest thing we have this year. It's going to be crazy.
All right, well, we're entering into what we call the final stretch. And our last video is from a guy who, when you watch him on video, it's really just like being there, because it's a conversation between you and the Sam Chase. You got to check this out. This is the Sam Chase and the Untraditional on Soundwaves TV.
Ball. The heat is tearing down these walls. The blood and sweat is pouring from the tap. It's overflowing. This body's pounding broken bones. The world could end, we never know. Music's getting louder as our hearts all beat together. Oh, we came for the glory. We came for the fun. We came with a fight in our hearts and gave it our best shot. What they want to do, and nothing here is good for you. There's something reassuring on these bridges that we're burning. No one here wants to believe that there might be no way to leave. No one wants to show it. It's a trap and we all know it. Oh, we came for the glory. We came for the fall. Oh, we came with a fight in Yet deep in our hearts, there must be a part of something that we're doing that's right. We came for the glory, we came for the fall. Whoa, we came with a fight in our hearts and gave it our best shot. Whoa, 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 whoa,
That about does it for us. Live, baby, live. Time to wrap things up. And thank you very much for hanging out with us this week.
That's right. We love sharing live performances with you. That's why we do Soundwaves Christmas. That's why we bring bands into the Green Room Music Center to hang out on the set and everything. We hope you enjoy it as much as we do. As a matter of fact, maybe one of these days you guys should come down to the studio and we've got a band in here and check it out. Let us know. Check with us. Check us out on social media, on all the platforms, Soundwaves TV. If you're interested in coming down to the studio, if we're going to have somebody in the place, it might be kind of fun to have people in the audience and cheering and stuff like that.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a pretty small room, but I think we could probably get like 30, 40 people in here, right?
Sure. As long as I'm not one of them, it's fine.
Thanks to Chasta and the gang hanging down at the Bone, and we're going to take a little bit of a break. This is a programming note for you. We're actually going to take a break. We're going to be back in the summer in 3 weeks. We're going to have some big announcements. We're going to have a lot of fun, and it's going to be a hell of a summer.
It is indeed. So be sure to stick around and check us out on social media to keep yourself busy for the next few weeks. I'm Stephen Kirk.
Dennis Willis. Cheers.